The road stretched before me, shrouded in darkness, as I made my way home from the night shift. The occasional flash of my car's headlights illuminated the empty street, revealing fleeting glimpses of my surroundings. Exhaustion weighed heavily on me, my eyelids threatening to close with every passing second. The night was eerily quiet, the only sound being the soft hum of the engine. My mind drifted, lost in the monotony of the road. That's when I saw the figure, just a brief, indistinct shape in the periphery of my vision. I slammed on the brakes, my heart racing as the car screeched to a stop. My breath hitched as I peered into the darkness, my eyes searching for any sign of movement. For a moment, there was nothing but the sound of my own frantic breathing. Then a low groan reached my ears. My heart sank as I realized what had happened. I had hit someone. Trembling, I stepped out of the car, my hands shaking as I fumbled for my phone. My mind raced, torn between fear for the person I had hit and the terror of what might happen to me. I hesitated, my finger hovering over the call button. The darkness seemed to press in around me, and a feeling of unease settled over me. What if this was some kind of trap? What if the figure I had hit was not alone? My pulse quickened as I considered the implications of getting out of the car. Then, without warning, the figure stirred. My breath caught in my throat as they slowly sat up, their movements unsteady and labored. Panic surged through me as I stumbled back, my phone slipping from my trembling hand and clattering to the ground. The person's face was obscured by the shadows, their features indistinct and impossible to make out. I took a step backward, my heart pounding in my chest. The person's gaze seemed to lock onto mine, and a shiver ran down my spine. In that moment, I made a decision to flee. Adrenaline surged through my veins as I turned and sprinted back to my car. I didn't look back, my mind consumed by the instinct to escape whatever was unfolding in the darkness behind me. As I sped away from the scene, my thoughts were a chaotic jumble of fear and guilt. What had I just left behind on that desolate road? I couldn't shake the feeling that I had made a terrible mistake, that I had abandoned someone in need. But the fear of the unknown, of the lurking danger, was too great to ignore. The days that followed were torturous. Guilt gnawed at me, and the image of the person's face, shrouded in darkness, haunted my every waking moment. I tried to distract myself, to push the incident to the back of my mind, but the memory was a persistent specter that refused to be ignored. Then the letters began to arrive. The first one appeared on my doorstep, a simple white envelope with no return address. My heart raced as I opened it, my hands trembling as I read the words, "I know what you did." A cold sweat broke out across my forehead as I scanned the message, the implication clear. Someone had witnessed the accident, and they were watching me. More letters followed, each one more chilling than the last. They arrived in my mailbox, slid under the windshield wipers of my car, and even showed up at my workplace. The sender seemed to revel in my fear, taunting me with their knowledge of my darkest secret. I became a prisoner to their torment, the guilt of the hit and run compounded by the relentless threats. Sleep became elusive, my nights spent in a state of heightened anxiety. Every sound outside my window, every creak of the floorboards sent a jolt of fear through me. The feeling of being watched never left me, a constant presence that turned my own home into a battleground of terror. One night, as I lay in bed, my phone buzzed with a new message. My heart pounded as I checked the notification, my blood running cold at the image that appeared on the screen. It was a photograph of my own car, parked outside my home, accompanied by a single sentence. "I'm closer than you think." The walls seemed to close in around me as panic surged through my veins. There was no escape from this unseen observer, no way to shake the feeling that they were lurking just beyond my vision. Every moment, every place, was tainted by the knowledge that I was being watched, that the consequences of my actions were closing in on me. I sought help, consulting therapists and even law enforcement, but the letters continued to arrive. My mind had become a battlefield of fear and paranoia, the lines between reality and delusion blurring with each passing day. The unseen observer had burrowed into my psyche, a constant reminder of the terrible choice I had made that fateful night. Years have passed since those harrowing days, but the memories remain fresh, the letters and the fear they instilled forever etched in my mind. The road that once led me home from my night shift had become a path of torment, a journey from which there was no escape.